Hello everyone, happy Thanksgiving Eve. I've got a few things to show you today. Those of you that have seen the videos on the book board, writing tables, I updated a couple of the ones that are already in the shop with some different tassels. And then I also made one more large one. So I'm going to show you those real quick. So those will be in the shop. And I did it. I've had the signature block ready. I hadn't put it in, so I put it in, put it together, and decorated it. And I think I'm gonna part with it. I'm in love with this cover. It's one of the prettiest ones I think I've ever seen. So I think I'm gonna let it go. So let me just show you these real quick. And for those of you that don't know what they are, so say you have your journal, and you know, we've collaged on a page, or we've got a bunch of stuff stuck in a pocket. I'll just flip this open to a page. So you take your writing board, you slide it in, and lay your page down, and now you can write on your page, or stamp on your page, or, you know, whatever you're gonna do on the page, and you've got a nice hard surface to do that on. You can, this one's a tiny bit big for this book, but it still works. You can store it in your book. If you turn it this way, the tassel will hang out the side of your book. All right, here's another, let me show you on a regular sized journal. So here it is in the page down, if you were gonna write, and you could store it either way. And here it is with the tassel hanging out the side, and they all come with some kind of a tassel and then one of the skeleton clips. And these are hard board, the masonite board. If in the picture, if it only shows one side, then it's the same on both sides. If it's not the same on both sides, there will be a picture front and back. So the botanical one has botanicals on this side and then one large fern on the other side. Both sides are coated with 4 coats of sealer, so they're good and sturdy. If you get something on them, it should wipe right off. It's got the clear matte spray sealer on the top. So yeah, so the big one, it's 12 inches tall, 8 3/4 wide, and it's got this really pretty macrame. It's actually a keychain, but I thought it matched pretty well. So that's the large one. The blue marble with this like bead, and this feels like silk. I know it's not, but it feels like it. It's a standard 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I changed the tassel on this one. I put this macrame with the wooden bead, and this is a blue and gold and white and a little bit of black marble. And that's the same on both sides. This one is a vintage book cover scan, and that's the same on both sides. And this one would hang out the bottom of the book. It's got the macrame with the wooden bead. And then the pink marble is 8 inches tall and 5 3/4 wide, and it's got keys and charms and a little Jack and Beanstalk book. So there's that one. Oh, let's get to this guy. So this guy is just over 12 inches tall. It is about 8 1/4 wide, just over 2 inches thick. It has 8 signatures, approximately 260 pages. Let me see if I can get another. That light's gonna bring too much glare. Okay. And so here's the front, and the cover is very thick. You see how thick that is? It's thick. And I didn't do anything to the outside of the cover. Here's the spine. And then here's the back. It's in really good shape. I did reinforce the spine. There's a couple of spots here where there's a little bit of wear. So I used some cheesecloth in there and some bookbinding tape. So it's good and sturdy and secure. All right, and this one is just full of all kinds of yummy, yummy things. I put this giant, excuse me, Ex Libris plate in the front. And as you will see as we flip through, I did go a little bit crazy with the vintage tape, but I just thought it fit this one so well. I'll show you, this is a vintage mail bag with the tag still on it. It says postage. You write who it's to, the order number, and the back is blank. And it's like fabric paper. It's kind of cool. So this is just full of goodies for the journal. I'll show you that at the end. This is an original. It's very thick, and I just thought it was gorgeous. It says prologue on there, and just a pretty, some flowers and a bird image. I'm gonna try and go a little fast because I don't want you guys to be here all day. It's full of vintage ledger, and I used my vintage Bates numbering machine in here, so you'll see little numbers punched. There's lots of sewing. All the goodies are clipped on, and so I'm not going to undo them all, but there's all sorts of vintage bits tucked in. Typing paper, book page, some things that I've printed, some tea-stained paper, all kinds of fun things to use for collaging or journaling, cards. Some pages I've either sewn together or bound together to make a full page to fit in here, so that's what I did there. Here's the other side of the front page, which again is gorgeous. I've sewn 2 pages together here and made this into a pocket, so there's some Tim Holtz tissue paper in that pocket. And anywhere the page had a little rip or tear, I got to use the tape. I'm addicted to the tape, what can I say? This is one of the scans I'm working on. I have that whole book of the real botanicals. There's some sewing where I taped these 2 pages together. And just, of course, there's all different sizes, and I put them in all different orientations because this is such a large book. Hard to, you know, get paper that big. This is a check from 1885, the real deal. The music paper. Some ledger. This is the other side of that little tuck spot. So I just had this tiny little piece of ledger with a tab that I tucked in there. This is some gorgeous eco-dyed paper from Rosemary Morris. There's some tissue, some more real ledger from 1917, some more sewing, all sorts of tea stained and coffee stained paper, some matte paper. There's some more sewing there. The other side of the tissue, and oh, I use this sparingly because I love it so much. This is a page that I taped together incorrectly. One moment. We have to do book surgery. There we go. So this is a page out of an old ledger that I have. And the first, I think, 20 pages, somebody had started to turn it into a scrapbook. So there's a full signature of that in here. There's a little tuck with a receipt from 1926 and a check from 1922. A book page, some more tissue. So if this video is up, then this is in the Etsy shop, and the link will be down below in the description. And if you don't know how to get to the link, you can just go to www.junkjournalshop.com, and that'll take you right to my Etsy shop. Here's some more botanical paper. And some music paper. And some gorgeous ledger from 1871. And I've made a pocket and a little side tuck right there. So there's a vintage receipt and a library catalog card. This is some vintage ledger that I have. and more and more. Here's the other side of that. There's 3 different bits tucked in here. I didn't do a whole lot of decorating in here. I figured I would leave this one semi-naked for the recipient to do as they please. Here's some gorgeous mulberry paper. This is one of my favorites. This is a piece that I marbled. I don't know how well that's going to come up on camera. Piece of ledger paper that I marbled. This is some, oh, what do you call it? I want to say draft paper. Drawing, you know, that my dear friend Donna sent me that I put in. Another book page. I thought that was a neat spread for the middle of the signature. The other side of that, the other side of the marbled page. I'm going to do some more of that soon. That's really fun. Back of the notebook. This is a large ledger page that I again folded and made a tuck this way and that way, and it's got some sewing on the bottom. It's got a vintage flashcard for brownies, a postcard, and a little label. Some more of the typing paper and ledger. Some more ledger with some ephemera, book pages. This is another marbled page that I did. That one turned out gorgeous. It says, "Don't say it, write it." I love that saying. And ledger and typing. Back here, there's a flashcard, some Tim Holtz wallpaper, and another one of these flashcards with a microfilm in it. So this you can just tuck in like that. This is a file folder. This is another one of Rosemary's Eco prints. I put some Tim Holtz tissue on there, and I've folded it over and made a tuck spot, and there's a postcard and just some journaling cards, some vintage ledger, another one of my marbled pages. This is a piece of tea stained braille paper, vintage book page. The other side, oh, another one of my marbled pages, another ledger page, and back here is a vintage flashcard for books, a journaling card, a giant paper clip, and here's the back, and there is a library card pocket with the vintage tape, the label that says this book must not be destroyed, and then there's just a couple of extra cards and bits tucked in there. So there it is, you guys. Oh, I almost forgot the mailbag. In the mailbag, you will get mail. No, this gorgeous vintage receipt from, I'm looking for a date, 1881 or 1811. Can't tell. There's the front and the back. And that's just yummy. And a circus ticket, a bunch of different envelopes. Because it's mail, I figured why not? A bunch of different envelopes to have fun with. So there it is, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the flip through. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I am going to put this stuff in the shop, and stay tuned. I think on Friday morning I will be on. I don't know if it will be a live video or if it will just be an uploaded video, but I will have 100 pages of ledger packs that will be going into my shop. Those pages will be out of 10 different ledgers, and there will be different amounts of pages of each, you know, depending on how big the book is. So I'm going to come on Friday and show you guys each of the ledgers so you can see the books that they're coming out of. And then I'll talk about how I've decided to ship them and give you the link to them in the shop. So yeah, so that's all I have. Everybody, happy cooking. Be careful if you're going shopping on Black Friday. It can be crazy out there. I'm gonna stay home, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye, everybody.